Hello everyone, Crypto here. Thank you very much for tuning in and welcome back for those who are part of the community already, and for those who are here for the first time and checking out this video for the very first time, welcome to the community, and hopefully watching this video will add to your knowledge. Today we'll be talking about the Chia crypto project. We'll look at the whole project itself and we'll evaluate how they are different from all other cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other cryptocurrencies. What are they trying to do different, what the aim of the project is, and how they're trying to achieve it. So first of all, we'll look at Chia, what the Chia project is. The Chia project is a new blockchain-based cryptocurrency. It launched back in 2017, and they have now launched their main net, and their main blockchain has gone live in March 2021. There are a few things that Chia is trying to approach differently as a project, away from the conventional cryptocurrencies. Namely, they're trying to address a big issue of mining coins or cryptocurrencies at the moment. Now, as you know, currently mining cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, because they all use proof of work algorithms and consensus methods, those operations are very cost and electricity and resource intensive. So Chia tries to solve that issue by approaching the whole consensus on the blockchain issue from a different angle, namely by using a completely new algorithm based on the proof of work, space and time. Now, don't confuse this space and time with space-time by Einstein, which is the theory of relativity. That's something completely different. This is proof of space, i.e. space on your hard disk, which I'll get into later, and time, as in the time it takes to confirm a transaction or a blockchain. So those are that's the main sort of sales point that Chia have at the moment. That's the main problem they're trying to solve. However, that aside, they're also trying to take a different approach to how this blockchain is going to integrate rather than disrupt with the existing financial system. So I will get into that later on in this video. But the Chia project itself is trying to flip the entire cryptocurrency models that we know so far on its head, and they are trying to do things completely differently. So first of all, we look at who the person behind the whole Chia project is. It's a gentleman called Bram Cohen. He's the current director, chairman, and the CEO and the founder of the Chia network. Mr. Cohen is very well known for his previous protocol that he wrote back in 2004, which was called BitTorrent. That was a peer-to-peer file sharing sort of network, and I remember using it. I'm guilty of that in the past, and it was just used to download a lot of resources of the internet. According to some statistics, all the internet traffic, I mean, in terms of downloads, I think BitTorrent was sort of responsible for approximately 43 to 70%, as it says on this website here, on the white paper. He has also been sometimes accused of being the Satoshi Nakamoto, but that's something that he denies. He left BitTorrent in 2017 and then founded the Chia network, and he presides over it to this day. So he certainly has a resume and a past track record of writing those types of protocols, and he has demonstrated that by writing the BitTorrent protocol back in 2004, which was a arguable success to a certain degree. So now we'll look at this proof of space and proof of time algorithm that Chia wants to use, and we'll look at in very simple terms how it's different from the conventional proof of work and proof of stake algorithms. So Bitcoin uses a proof of work algorithm, for example. That is where you actually have to provide active computing power to the network to solve mathematical issues and problems. And if you are able to solve a mathematical problem and your answer is accepted, then you get rewarded with some coins. So that's the conventional way of Bitcoin mining or cryptocurrency mining, which is proof of work. But Chia want to approach it slightly differently. They have come up with an algorithm which uses proof of space as their first part of the algorithm. So proof of space essentially in layman's terms and in simple terms only means that you as a user, when you download their app on your device, on your desktop or computer, laptop, you create a node, and in that node, in order to take part in the blockchain and in the mining process or farming process, you designate empty and unused hard disk space to the network. They call that process to create a plot or plotting process. Essentially what plotting is when you designate that particular amount of space to the network creates a plot on that space, and by plot it just submits, as you can probably think of, it sows seeds for Chia, and you can think of those seeds in simple terms like mathematical numbers sequences. So it sows those sequences in the plot, and that is designated to the network. Now, the way the Chia algorithm operates is whenever a block is solved, the block that's already been solved generates a sequence number for the upcoming block, and the network then matches that sequence number against all the existing plots that are on the network or linked to the network, and sees which plot contains the closest match to the number that's been generated by the block, and then that block is basically awarded to that particular plot, and by doing so, obviously that plot farmer earns some reward. So in other words, in simple layman's terms, his seeds grow, and he can farm a yield from those growing seeds. So that's the way it works. If you ask me personally, I think it's more like sort of putting in a lottery with random numbers. The only difference is that you are not actually in control of those numbers, but the network is. So if you go to a shop and you buy a lottery ticket, you have, say you buy a random pick of numbers. That random pick of numbers becomes your lottery ticket. And that essentially is what your plot is doing. It generates those numbers, sequences, it stores them in the plot on the unused hard disk space, and those numbers, if they come up or match or are closely matched with the numbers generated for the next block by a currently solved block, then you're a winner. Obviously, depending on how many tickets are there or how many plots are there and how many numbers are there, your winning chances are in direct sort of proportion to the number of tickets out there, if that makes sense. So they say that there are 4,608 chances on average per day that you could win a plot with your numbers. But then again, it's a bit like a lottery in my opinion, because you're not actually doing any work per se. You could win a plot quite randomly and earn some rewards, or you could be in there for years and not win anything. So it's it's a strange way to approach the whole thing. So the proof of time works slightly differently. The proof of time mechanism you can think of, I'm struggling to come up with an example, real world example, how to tell you that. Essentially what it is that Chia, whenever the block is solved, since the block solving takes a little bit of computing time and power, the block verifying doesn't, so they introduced timestamps to ensure that everything stays within parameters and can't be tampered with, and it basically also minimizes the waste of electricity, and also allows a quicker block production time for the remaining blocks. So that's how they aim to do it, which I say it's a bit of a strange way to do it. Especially, I think when you're farming, you're not actually farming, you're playing a lottery. I think that's the key difference. That's what I have gathered from it. I may be wrong, I don't know. If I am wrong, please feel free to correct me. Now we'll look at the token economics and how the supply of Chia is regulated, what the price is at the moment, etc. And I was quite surprised when I saw that the Chia is actually trading at around $1,100 US. It has only been listed on CoinMarketCap since the 3rd of May because it's a new project, but the price is absolutely phenomenal right now. In terms of data, there is no maximum supply of tokens for Chia, so it's uncapped, unlimited Chia can be created and minted over the years. There is very little data or no data as to what the market cap is right now, and I can't really figure out what the circulating supply is and why Chia seems to have such a high valuation right now. In terms of the tokenomics sort of themselves, as I said, they have no maximum supply cap, but they do have a throttle down effect. So initially, 64 Chia will be minted every 10 minutes from the blockchain for the first 3 years of the project, and then there will be a halving of that amount every 3 years until they reach year 12, where from year 12 onwards, only 4 Chia coins will be minted or created for every 10 minutes on the blockchain. So that's the way they're structuring the whole token economics. At this moment in time, there's not enough data for me to sort of make a solid judgment call, but it certainly seems really, really strange to me that it's got such a high valuation from the get-go. I think the reason may well be that a lot of people are actually jumping straight into it because it doesn't require very expensive hardware at the moment, and a lot of people are actually utilizing their empty hard disk space to essentially mine or farm for Chia coins. There is another important factor or fact that has been listed in the white paper. Namely, there is something called a Chia reserve, which is essentially 21 million pre-minted Chia coins that have been allocated to the network and the company itself. So those will remain in the company's custody, and how the tokens exactly will be used is something that needs to be determined in the future. But they aim to use those finances and those coins to do more constructive work and grow the company and the network itself. What they have done is, from learning from previous experience and all the frauds that have happened in the crypto space and the rug pulls, they have introduced certain control measures to prevent the selling off of these coins by introducing some regulations where a board of at least 5 people, which will consist of 2 Chia members, directors, including the founder and the director, and it will also have to contain 2 independent directors that will be drafted in from the outside, and all of those will have to reach an agreement and vote on a decision where it involves the spending of those tokens of the allocated company funds from the company's reserve. So that's something that is noteworthy. So there are some control measures in space. They are trying to improve on things they have learned from the crypto space over the past years. But to make any calls in terms of the token economics and the future outlook, I think it's simply too early to say what's going on, and there is simply not enough data to analyze. So I think that's something that we'll need to look at a further date as well, and keep an eye on as the project progresses and see how successful it becomes. So that's it in terms of the Chia project. I think I've covered all the main bits, and I hope that you find this information useful. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can remain updated with future videos. And also, if you find the information helpful, smash that like button to tell the YouTube algorithm that this video is worth sharing with other people. Thank you very much for all your support. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll be demonstrating how to create Chia plots and how to start taking part in the Chia network. So thanks a lot, and I'll speak to you soon.